All right, everybody. Hello, welcome. We're going to be getting into some more Esea MDL action, of course. Our first game is going to be Forze up against Chaos over on Inferno. I'm Scriv. Joining me today is going to be Mitch Man. Absolute pleasure to always have him on board. You know, we're the boys. The boys. Been a while since we casted, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've cast together. We've always been involved in productions. I'm usually in your ear annoying you. This time I'm in your ear annoying you again, but on broadcast as well. And we're starting off with, I mean, we got a long day, 4 games ahead of us, but it's Forze and Chaos on Inferno to start us. Knife already gone down, pistol about to start. And this is the new economy system, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fun one to talk through. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the pistol. Already a kit and 2 flashbangs coming in on Almazar. They've spotted a couple players over towards second mid, but Chaos taking it slow. They're not going for the Csgo rush B. Instead, they're, walking up B. Didn't end too well for Plus.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one to kind of slow peek around. And they have those flashes available as well, which they're now going to use, but great counter flash comes in from the CT side. There comes that new kill feed into play as well with the flash assists. Love to see it. As it does give credit to those support players, but unfortunately for Chaos, it does not seem to be going very well at all, as yet to find a kill. Exapower with the final 2, beautiful stuff. But a great hold over at B, ultimately. I just kind of feel that, you know, Chaos, it was a little bit foolish of them to go for the kind of dry peak initially and then go for the flash play. So yeah, I'm not so sure about that one, but nonetheless, it was pretty decisive to say the least.
Yeah, indeed. Forze getting away with a pretty swift round. I like what they're doing here. XSE Power taking himself just a USP, a nade, and armor. He wants to stay alive so he can buy an AWP alongside that armor. He'll even be able to upgrade to a pistol if he wants. Relax is already out of the question. You can see why it's okay to take the USP here. There's nothing really to work with for Chaos. They know they're on the full eco. And one thing we see a lot of teams doing is taking out a couple of SMGs, you know, 2, 3, maybe even 4 we've seen in the past. And that really destroys you in a round like this, because then you have to go into the third round up against AKs with those SMGs in play. Now you can see Forze with the, AWP purchased by Facecrack. No? Was that a glitch? Oh, it was. Yeah, he dropped over to XSE Power. Okay, so they're keeping the money stacked on the offer. That's a really nice economic decision. I like that.
Yeah, obviously, with these new changes, which I think are not only going to catch the players off, but also us a little bit, so do have to bear with on that one. It's going to allow for a bit of theory crafting to come in, and this is, like you say, a really, really nice idea. The order is very important for a lot of teams on the CT side, especially of most maps. Definitely on Inferno. Keeping him rich kind of gives them a little bit more of an option, you know, if they build up a little bit of money. We can certainly work with it. But here we go. The early action going to come on through. Enough theory crafting as the kills are what is to follow. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the apartment, so not a great deal coming for the T side off the back of that, but they will kind of, in theory, make this A-site defense a little bit weaker. However, they had stacked it with 4 players. Important kill for DJL to find, though, because it leaves XSE Power on the top, in between 3 players, all on his clone, he can give it some time to readjust and escape after that first kill, but he walks straight into the crack. The Relaxer was watching. The bomb needs to be retrieved. Jerry does find one. He's very, very low, though. Kind of has to give that bomb up at this point. We're going to go for the reface and takes down DJL in the end. A pretty nice 1 versus 2 coming through. There's maybe over-aggression from both players, to be honest. You know, Jerry, he peeks in when he could have just let him get the bomb. DJL goes for the reface as well when he's already gotten the bomb. So getting greedy for kills does eventually go the way of the CT side, though.
Yeah, indeed. Bringing in 3-0 now. Chaos on $2,900. They're able to get themselves a full buy in the next round. And so with their deagles, they'll look to just cause a little bit of havoc, cause a little bit of damage to that Force economy. Facecrack coming in with the auto shotgun. We've seen this from him a couple of times in the past. Indeed, from a lot of apps players now. I think David P's really brought this to life in recent memory. My God. That's exactly why you want the auto shotgun in apps. Up against a buy like this especially. It works against AKs as well, but when you're playing against players that don't have head armor, it's easy peasy. 4-0. And now Chaos reaching towards the top of their loss bonus.
Indeed, this is where things start to become interesting. You know, if they win this round, it still puts them in good stead, you know, to pick up a few more because of that loss bonus. Especially on the T side, you've got the bomb plants and things that now arguably have even more of an effect on whether you buy up in the next round. So it'll certainly be interesting to see how this one develops. Beautiful shot, though, from Esea Power to open us up. The double scope. Blatten shooting through those paper-thin walls. Almazar, meanwhile, with that secondary AWP on the other side of the map, takes down Relaxer. So really, really good openers coming in from Forza here. Jerry as well, holding silently in the off angle. Doesn't find the kill, however. And again, it's kind of looking over at those flashbangs. It's sort of early on, you know, people have highlighted some issues with the flash assists coming up in the kill feed and whatnot. But then you also have a little bit of an issue there, as I would say Jerry wasn't blind at all. It was behind him. It was a very subtle flash of white that comes through. Not really going to have affected his aim, is the point that I'm trying to make. But it still comes up on the kill feed. So interesting to see.
Indeed, and one thing I'm noticing here is that you're not seeing too much of a shift in the meta amongst fours anyways. They're still sticking with the AUGs for the most part, costing now $3,300, but of course, with the fact that losing a round doesn't completely reset your loss bonus, I think that provides a lot more room when you're on the downward path anyways to keep the AUGs in rotation, because even if you win a round, you're not going to be punished too heavily if you're on full loss bonus. But fours at the moment, they're not gaining any economic advantages. They're winning the rounds, still opting to go for the AUG, considering its higher price. That was AUG. Eventually connects it onto Pleston. With DJL last alive, he's walking straight into the AWP, manages to find the shot, but he hasn't got a whole lot of time.
No, and I think better for him to go down there to face crack ahead of time rather than after time. So, as he will retrieve the loss bonus. But again, it's still looking really good for Fords here early on. There's not really this kind of, I think some people may be thinking that it's going to turn things into being a little bit crazy. They might lose a round, and then sure, they have to kind of adapt. But they're so far ahead at this point that it's still kind of the best team fundamentally is in the lead. They are looking a hell of a lot cleaner here. And it's something that we talked about in the pregame, right, was that Chaos has traditionally beaten them. So it's certainly good to see that they've kind of worked on that and adapted from that.
One of the problems for Forze, though, the last time these guys faced was the T side. We only saw them walking away with 3 rounds across a 15-round half. The full half played out. So, you know, you did get a little bit worried when they swap over. You want to see them now have a convincing CT side to allow them to, you know, have a couple of fall downs when they swap over. If things haven't changed. Face crack taken down by a P250. That's a decent investment return for Chaos. I think one thing we're going to see a lot more is CZs and 5.7s now with the P250 increasing to 300. I think we can definitely see the $500 pistol shining through a little bit more already. This round's looking very good for Chaos. Down goes Jerry into a 2 versus 1, and the retaker is Almazar with an AWP. That's not ideal up against these guys. Chaos are going to also be able to pick up another rifle, presumably, as Plesson comes in on the rotation. Although he's coming through apartments, he wants to play it safe and get that bomb down. Swapping over to an AUG, probably a good decision for Almazar. You know, there's no armor on Pleston, so he's got a chance, but first he's to take the pit player down. He's not looking at him. Flashbang goes out, so DGL's not able to finish the kill. But surely, with such low HP, Almazar's not long for this world. And that indeed is the case, bringing us to 5-1. Chaos, you see, one of the things we normally say, Scriv, is that now Chaos, they have to win this round. They'll be reset. It'll really take a hit to their money. But you look at things, they were on full loss bonus of $3,400. If they lose this round now, they still get $2,900 with the new update, which gives them a lot of room to get a couple full buys in a row. And so the lead of 4 is 5-1 isn't as strong as it, you know, was yesterday in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. And this is now where the real kind of test, the real kind of feel of how quickly these teams are able to adapt to changes such as this. But obviously, it kind of depends on how this round goes as well, right? There's not a great deal of money for Forze left in the bank. Great flash coming through as well. Pleasant to find the kill. Beautiful stuff from him, but again, I love the Flasher because it does credit those kind of supportive players, and now hopefully people will be like, oh, he's not got the most frags in the world, he must be, you know, a bad player. But obviously, if you have a bit of a deeper knowledge for the game, that's not quite how it works. So, credit where credit is due, I suppose, with this new change. But nonetheless, it's a man disadvantage now for Forze in a round that they kind of need to win to hold on to their lead. I think Chaos have got a really good chance at getting back into this because this whole, you know, loss bonus argument isn't really going to affect them because they are relatively early on with it, and they're not winning rounds off the back of a high loss bonus and all that kind of stuff. It does make talking about things a little bit more complicated. But we'll see. Straight into the meat grinder here goes DJL. He will get to get in that B-bomb site. Within 20 seconds left, though, it's going to be tight. CT smoke can quite go in. They have to move ahead of it, and Jerry will capitalize. He picks up 2 and secures a pretty hefty man advantage going into this final 10 seconds. A desperate attempt to the bomb plant from Gustafsson leaves Barton all by himself in a 1 versus 4. He does manage 1. He doesn't have time to get the bomb down, though, and that will be the round. He dies after time as well, and Chaos hopes at getting back into things not quite looking good at this point, I would say. Well, this is where it comes into play, isn't it?
Yeah, $2,900. DJL can drop over an AK-47. Watton, Pleasant, got AKs everywhere. Gustafsson, suppose it depends what he wants to do. I don't think there's an AK dropped for him right now, so if he does want to take one, it's going to cost him. There's one AK on the floor, but that's for Watton, I'm pretty sure. No? He's dropped it to Gustafsson? Does he want to take just a deagle into this fight? Apparently he does. He feels more comfortable giving it to Gust. Suppose Gustafsson has double his kills, but 2-1. It's not too bad. So moving into things, we've got a lot of AKs. You see that it's a real saving grace now for Chaos. A lifeline has been given to them. Let's see if they can make it work. They've got utility, they've got AKs, and they're moving over towards the A-bomb site early on, looking for any aggression from Forze. The Forze should know, though, at this point, obviously they've had a little bit of time to look over the patch notes before we started games today, that Chaos will realistically have themselves a buy in this position. They're not up against pistols. And you can see they're playing it pretty reserved. They're not going aggressive at all. 2 players towards long, going to be swinging in for the peak once that smoke is gone. Chaos are contemplating going up aggressive. They're giving away their presence here. Flashbang doesn't do a whole lot. Could have been timed a little bit better. Waited for the smoke to dissipate. Flit avoids getting Molotov'd out of the corner. And again, Chaos still angling towards A. They found a pick eventually. I was going to say they haven't found anything. So going in for the peek there, Gustafsson, without any assistance of a flashbang. No double peeks. There's no trades going down for the players falling. This is looking very bad for Chaos. The bomb gets dropped. The round's falling apart, Script.
Yeah, not really ideal. These Zorgs, very, very difficult to deal with. And I think what happened in middle there, especially with Flit, you know, getting his nice little 2-3k. I feel like they were caught with nades out. You know, it was a kind of get a pick, go towards this bomb site. Oh, but we've not put down any utility. There's a guy in pit. It seemed very panicked. From Chaos, you know, and very last minute kind of thinking, which sometimes, you know, can work out, can catch teams off guard and things, but they were the ones that got a little bit caught with their pants down, so to speak. Seeing a lot of timeouts come in very early on. I think that Chaos, you know, again, panicking a little bit because they feel they should be able to take this map. They have done in the past. Again, like you say, it's weak T sides from Forze, but if they get a ridiculously good CT side, suddenly that weak T side is not as difficult a hill to climb, you know? So Chaos, I think, they understand the importance of their own T side, and they really do need to find some rounds soon, because they're getting a little bit ripped apart here, and time is running out, in all honesty, as we're kind of entering the latter stages of this first half, I think.
You see there, even with the loss bonus built up now, they're not really able to go for much. Taking out the pistols and armor, you know, 7-1. It becomes so much more difficult to really gain these big leads, or to bolster them down even further. At 7-1, you've had one round for Chaos, and then they started to take a little bit of a hit to the loss bonus, but not too much. Yeah, Forza are winning a lot of buy rounds. I'm pretty convincing. That last round for Chaos, there were a lot of red flags there. You know, the peak towards long without any assistance, without anybody able to trade, then the peak on short at the same time. Again, no assistance, no trades, no flashbang. It's not what you like to see. They're getting torn apart in this round, which you'd kind of expect, you know, coming in with just a deagle. We're looking for a couple of one deags to come through. Flit's in danger. Gustafsson's thinking of going in for the peak. Can't quite land the headshot, though. And the problem, really, for Chaos right now is that some of the better rounds, some of their better chances to really make this a good half are certainly behind them. They're already giving over an 8-1 lead to Forze more than likely. Almazar finding that kill puts it down to just Watton, so unless he can pull off an ace, which is pretty unlikely, this will be 8-1. Forze will be ahead. The beautiful thing is if they survive with... Okay, if they survive with 4 players, I was going to say all their players, it gives a massive boost to their economy. 4 will still do the job, though. As you can see, they wasted very little utility. I think Chaos could have gotten a lot more done in that round, whether it be through kills, you know, sticking together a little bit more and getting the trades in with those deagles, making sure that they were wasting down utility, baiting it out. You know, there were 2 players finish that round with a full set of util. And it might not seem like much, but that's another $1,000 that essentially is gifted to them by not having to rebuy that util for a round like this where it is actually important.
Yeah, especially when you see the pistols and the utility come out, you expect the team to do something with it. And it just didn't seem to be too much of a game plan. A little bit of a fluffed Molotov at the top end
that's
of Banana there.
And you meta Molotov in case they no clip into the corner, then you can burn them alive. Of course. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. 200 IQ, or 2 IQ, I guess you guys are
chat
the ones
decides
to make the decision. Yeah.
Let us know in chat.
We've got a big fat bit of damage onto DJL from the nade, which kind of, you know, in all seriousness, if that Molotov would have landed, might have resulted in a kill. So again, it's kind of the little things that can change things up. No one over at B really for the T side, apart from the bomb, and obviously Pleasant just holding down that flank. It's a little bit interesting to see that small things like this from Chaos do kind of tell us that perhaps they're going to go towards the B-bomb site. Perhaps, you know, they're just looking to bait some utility, bait some rotations towards A. However, you know, we do have 3 CTs sat here ready and waiting. Let's see what the plan is. Are they faking B? Are they faking A? I think they're going to fake B, looking at the body language. Only 30 seconds left. The majority of the team over at A. And it is drawing rotation successfully. I mean, Exi Power moving across completely. Flit is well going to abandon the A-bomb site. He does change his mind as they only notice that there's 1 player, but he's the only guy to hold this down. He's going to have to do a hell of a job. Will manage to find 1. The second, not quite as easy coming, though. 10 seconds remaining, a missed shot, actually a leg from Ecstasy Power, a little bit unlucky on that one. They do have the man advantage here, and the HPs for Chaos, it's absolutely atrocious. This could go either way.
They're sticking together here. That's a big difference about Forze, you notice, versus Chaos. They're pushing short as a team. Even if the AWP finds a pick, he's instantly going to be traded out, especially with low HP. Gustafsson and DJL, all that's left. Gustafsson picked off in the pit as well. The wall bang enough to take him down, and the round very quickly comes to a conclusion. Chaos might have the loss bonus, they might have the bomb plant, but even when they find themselves in these good positions with the full buys, with the bomb site, they're not able to close out the rounds. And right now, Forze are laughing. I mean, look, they managed to find 3 rounds in their T side the last time these teams played. Chaos completely stomped them. It was a 16-5 victory on Inferno, and now Forze are the ones that are showing Chaos what a bad T side looks like.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see, and again, they've perhaps worked on it, which is always cool. But we'll have to see how things go. That's very lucky that Blessing gets away with that one. 5 HP. Molotov
Takes
not quite going to reach.
I hit him
Oh, goodness. He's very lucky this round. He's very lucky, but still being left on 4 HP is you know, not ideal, to say the least. Especially this early on in the round, there's no real opportunity for him to trade that damage back. So, kind of just going to have to grit his teeth and bear it at this point. But yeah, it's just really not going well for Chaos. They're getting continually shut down. It was a really good round from them, you know. The opening pick, I believe, went their way, if I remember correctly, and then they drew the rotation successfully, but just not able to capitalize. So, there's some issues. in the Swedish camp at the moment. Either way, going to be hitting this B-bomb site. 3 players to deal with shortly, but they're not even going to be needed. Look at that from Jerry. He picks up a clean little 4K for the round. Beautiful stuff as he just mows them down. Again, they were all kind of low-ish, but crazy.
I don't know what the situation is with the flash assists there. You pointed out before, Scriv, that a flash went off behind someone, and the assist went through. Just there, the flashbang was well and truly dissipated, and yet it still came up as a flash assist. So maybe they need to work a little bit on how long it lasts. You know, if they flashbang them at the start of the round and they die with 10 seconds left, maybe it shouldn't count as an assist. That's an exaggeration, but no, all in all, I think it was still a decent flashbang, decent hold. One of the problems for Chaos, again, comes from not being able to bait at that utility. As they went for that push with 50 seconds left on the B-bomb side, both players still had flashbangs. They still had both their smokes as well. The Chaos are doing very little to really make this costly for Forze on any front. Look at the economy built up right now. I mean, you expect that on a 10-1 lead. But in a round like that, one of the most valuable things can be to use, especially the B players' smokes, and then make the push happen, go on through, and you're going to find yourself a much easier time. Oh, that's an interesting flashback. And that's an interesting kill. XSC gets headshot down to 15 HP, makes it back to the A-bomb site. And Chaos, again, losing a player all by his lonesome. And re-angling themselves towards the B-bomb site, just about failing the kill onto Almazar. And that's a bit problematic. You've got 2 players, sure, they're low on the CT side. Nice nade returned on to relax anyways. But the thing is, both those players have the ops, so it's one hit potential for you and for them.
Right. It's not the end of the world. But we'll see. Nice one tap from Gustavsson coming through. And only one more player to deal with. Jerry going to be hidden away, waiting for those rotations to come in, but he tries to take the peak. Again, a bit dry, maybe not the best of ideas. It's going to throw the man advantage away. In a 4 versus 2 is quite possibly the best chance that Chaos have had it around for quite some time here. Especially on that B-bomb site, especially with no utility and low HPs. So yeah, Forze, rightly so, just going to back away and save. Sure, they have plenty of money, but there's no point giving away needless kills. Although Ecstasy Power has other ideas, perhaps. But yeah, second round going to come through from Chaos. You know, it's certainly interesting to see. Great shot comes through. Ecstasy Power now just going to back away. Nice little bit of damage done, but okay, he's keeping on it, bitch. He is a cheeky boy, that is for sure. On those I mean, he's 15 HP as well, right? It's certainly risky. But yeah, sure. Good clean round from Chaos. They hold it down well. They'll get their second. It's now a question of whether they can string these rounds together.
Again, they don't lose too much of their loss bonus if they do lose, but I think we can throw all that out the window. Look, you've got the potential for a 10-5 half. They've got to secure that. Forze had a weak T-side before, like I said, only 3 rounds secured. But at this point, they might even be able to win it with just 3 rounds on the T-side if they can continue to shut Chaos out. Came down to a 2v2 in the end, well, really a 3v2, as of course, Ecstasy just finding that last exit didn't really give them a lot of potential to close out the round. But Forze are able to get a full buy now continuously. You know, they're bringing out another double op setup. They'll be able to do so in the next round as well. Loss bonus starts to kick in then and allow them to at least get something along the lines of shotguns. And on Inferno, you know, the new Nova, Mag 7 changes, with that being cheaper. Certainly, I think we'd see a lot on the CT side from that if they're pushed down to low money. Because obviously Inferno being one of the maps where we see a lot of teams prior to this update playing with CZ and armor buys. When you really wouldn't expect them to force on a lot of maps, they would do it here because it gives you a lot of chances with all the close range angles. We already saw the impact that an auto shotgun can have in apps, but Forze don't have to go anywhere near that level of weaponry for a while. 3 AUGs, 2 AWPs, and Chaos fast rushing towards the A-bomb side with face crack. Gonna have to take first contact. He's already found one, but that's all he manages.
Ooh. A couple kills to come through though. For the Swedes, beautiful hold coming in from DJL. He will eventually get traded back, but Almazar is so late. And it's kind of difficult to find anything really at this point. Again, they're just going to look to save, especially now that their economy definitely is under threat. These 2 saved AWPs certainly going to make things easier in the next round. But this is looking good for Chaos. It's certainly an opportunity for them to get back into things and maybe make this half a little bit more palatable, rather than the destruction that it could have been. Still, a 12-3 is on the cards, right? But it's improvements, and they are looking at least competitive towards the end. I suppose better late than never is a phrase that jumps to mind. But we'll see. We'll see. I think with the double AWP saved and the money that they still have available, Forze can certainly fight back. If they adapt well, they can shut this down quickly and still get a really good CT half out.
Well, the money's certainly there for Forze to make this work. I think the problem is that for Chaos now, even if they manage to claim this 10-5, which looks more likely to take an Almazar out early on. Oh god, the flashbang assist confused me. I thought he killed him with a flashbang. Okay, that would have been embarrassing though. Molotov kill returned down to a 4v4. But yeah, I think the thing for Chaos is if it goes 10-5, losing the pistol round pushes Forze into heavy favorites to win the map instantly. I mean, they've already got such a strong lead up, but it would certainly help them out if they manage to win, these last 4 rounds. They've already got 2, looking for 2 more. And the loss bonus is starting to fade away a little bit. I think they only get 1,900, no, 2,400. 1, 2, yeah, 2,400 if they lose this round. It's going to take a while.
Yep, it is.
I'm not I'm not fans of Chaos to win this map right now, but we did see a strong CT side from them before. Let's keep a glimmer of hope for them. They wanted to find these 2 rounds. That's a nice nade going through. Wharton avoids being taken down by it. Face crack with a double spray down a third. No, not today. DJL manages to make it to the bomb site, and the bomb plant will go down.
Will it? I'm going to opt to try and fake things out. Jerry's getting into a good position, drops the bomb as well. Perhaps you spoke a little bit too soon, as we're now in a 2 versus 1 without the bomb being down in the way that Relaxer would want. 18 seconds left. He's got to make this cross, and he cannot. Beautiful flick from Flit. An 11th round comes through, and that's certainly a blunder. I mean, like you said, there was good room, good amount of time for that bomb to go down, put it into a bit more of a doable 2 versus 2. You could have had Relaxer playing the bomb, but DJL, for whatever reason, decided to, again, get a little bit overzealous, a little bit over-aggressive, and it cost him the round.
I guess he thought that the player was closer than he actually was. I mean, he peeked long and saw he wasn't there. So I thought he would have just went for the bomb plan, but evidently I was wrong. Relax gets burnt alive as well. A second round in a row where there's going to be opening kills with Molotov. That was, of course, the second. There's the second for Almazar. He was the one to open the round up in Banana. My god, he does. Spamming through the smoke. And 5 versus 2. This is not looking good for Chaos right now.
Nice little find from Gustafsson, though. At the end of long hauls, face crack trying to take the off angle. Might have worked against an AK, but the AWP, the quick reaction, able to drop him easily. However, he's now lost his teammate, and they know exactly where he is. Not surviving that. Don't care who you are. I mean, he might have gotten the kill in the front, but there was a guy at the back that was immediately ready to take him down. 12-3 then from Forze in the end. Chaos, we saw flashes of hope, potential from them towards the end, but it just came about a little bit too late, I think. Forze had such a good foothold and such a good position that, they could afford to lose a couple here and there and then, bounce back quite easily as they did. So, sure, they've got weak D sides, but they only need 4. It's going to need an incredible comeback from Chaos on this CT side, to be honest, and I'm not sure if they are capable.
You see, the thing is, with this new update, it is very much a forced comeback mechanic. Chaos, normally we would look at that, we'd say, okay, they lost the pistol round, they lost the first buy round, then they won one and got reset. This time they didn't even get reset. They faced the next round with $2,900. They got a full buy, they got the bomb site, they got the bomb plant, and then we're taken out. And that's one of the problems. When you face into this, you see them not being able to even put it closer than 12-3, and Forze are just showing up at a much better individual level right now.
it makes it even worse, for and from Chaos, I guess, on their T side, because it's like they don't even have the argument of, oh, we never really got a grasp on the economy, because especially on that T side, this new change is really going to help you out, right? It's kind of evening things out in a sense of we've seen the org meta creep in, bring the game to a bit more of a CT side of the fair. But nonetheless, we'll stop talking about that because the action's going on now. DGL here at the back of New Box is going to be the first target. Plesson does manage to find one, but 3 very quick kills coming in. Advanced position from XSE Power in towards CT to pick up 2. That is beautiful. Onto Gustavsson. And Boatin is just locked out right now. There is a kit available in on the site, but he's got 4 kills to find. He'll get 1, tries a bit of spam through the smoke, but nothing coming. 1 versus 3 now. Flitz seems to have his number. Flash going to come in as well. Although I think it's actually a decoy. I got baited out by it, but Boatin, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter. Almas are going to take him down easily enough, and the 13th comes through from Forze. So now things have become even harder for Chaos.
Indeed, 13-3. With the pistol going the way of Forze now, they've got a much better opportunity to close this. There's the sawed-off coming out on face crack. Okay, don't recall seeing this in the last couple months, but with the new update, Forze is feeling it. It got reduced. I don't remember what price it got reduced to exactly. Is it like 12?
I think it's only like 1,000. It used to be 1,200, right? Same price as the Nova, and I think it got moved.
1050.
Yeah, and it got moved to like the same price that the Nova's now on, I think. So certainly interesting. And the range got increased a little bit, I think, as well.
Yeah. So it's 1050 for the Nova, 1,100, so an extra $50 for the sawed-off,
okay.
and 1,300 for the Mag 7. Interesting. He's not having any success with it just yet.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying over on A.
Oh, they're pushing him close!
Whoa!
It's a shotgun. Why would you push it?
It's a bit risky. It's a bit risky. I think they're just kind of wanting the kills at this point.
I mean, if I hear a sawed-off shotgun in the door, I'm not going in that house.
That's the one thing, right? That's the one thing that you have on it, especially. I mean, you could kind of say like the Mag, the Nova, and the XM10 have decent-ish range. But the one thing that's always held the sawed-off back is how bad the range is, like how terrible the drop-off damage is.
Yeah.
Like right in front of it, it's like a one-shot anywhere. But if you take like a couple steps backwards, it does like 12 damage or something.
Yeah. But I mean, if you walk into a doorway where it's just pointing at you from an inch away, you're not winning that. I mean, look, we talk about the CZ's good close range. Sure, I'll give you that, but I wouldn't take those odds. At least they've got a sawed off now on the CT side. Plesson rocking that.
Hell yeah.
He's all he's got to do is get within about 5 millimeters of someone, and he can get the kill.
Doable. Some early B aggression coming in though. Unfortunately not going to work out, but here we go. The sword off in play. He will manage to find the kill onto Flip. The headshot certainly helping him out with that one. He's get even further forward, but there it is. That was fairly on Jerry. He took like 15 damage. If that, I think some damage earlier on had been from one of the nades the CTs through. So the sword off very short-lived in a lot of senses of the word.
Yeah.
Seems the game as well gonna be over pretty soon, to be honest. 4 versus 3 here should well, I mean it should easily be a 15. And
yeah.
I think the money going into the next round for Chaos is going to be terrible. So
they're
on the wrong bomb site here. Yeah, it's just not looking good, to be honest.
Yeah, stacking up B. I mean, this is good from Forze. They made the right call. They know that they're up against the weaker weapons that Forze has gone in. And so more than likely they're going to be stacked over towards that B bomb site. Catch a rotation off. They have the choice to go to B or A. DGL has to be cautious as he rotates over towards the A bomb site. But of course, it's Boatin that's going to give the information. They're on A! Doesn't help, though. DGL low HP. He's got a kit. He's got armor. I mean, you don't go for this, really. No matter how late on it is, you're not winning it.
Yeah. It's just a bit sad. Chaos just seemingly not turning up here today. Like I say, I think Forze, the immaculate CT side that they had here, Chaos just didn't really get a read on it ever, and I think it has cost them. And you can kind of argue that, sure, losing the pistol in on this half is not the best start either, and it was their opportunity to come back in. But you're going to be so disheartened after a 12-3 where you just feel like you're being shut out. And especially when you now have this argument, again, as we've been going on about, of the economy and the loss bonus not being as punishing, you know, it's more on you to get back into it. If you've got good fundamentals, even if you do kind of win that one round and lose the subsequent, you should be able to still keep fighting back. But they never did. You know, they were very inconsistent in that first half, and I think it's just continued into the second. So for me, I'm a say 16-4. I reckon Chaos will win this one, pull it out of the bag, but then immediately get shut down.
Could do it. They got to start off pushing through apps. They're already on a flank towards Forze. This could be very dangerous with the apartments control. Watton's going to catch a couple off with the MP9, even a third, before he eventually gets taken down. And Scriv, you see into the future because it's a 1v4. XSE Power is not looking to fly here. This could easily be 15-4. And with Chaos surviving on so many players and saving over a couple of those beautiful weapons, if they take down XSE, they'll even get an op for free. And actually, Relaxa he's close enough to XSE. If he finds this kill with the UMP, which it looks like he will, he gets the free op. Everybody has rifles. One for everybody in the audience, or on the CT side at least. And so they have a very good chance to fight this round. I'm surprised to see XSE jumping straight in there. He's the first one to buy, and he takes an op.
Indeed. I mean, we look to Flip mainly, who lacking in the money. Everybody else comfortable, but it may have been an idea to just go for a bit of a half buy. So let's hope that this AWP has got, you know, the impact that he thinks it's going to have. He got quite a good spawn, as you can see, to get an early peek on towards middle, but I'm guessing, looking at the minimap, that there is a smoke in the way at the moment. Or they're slightly holding... No, they're holding slightly different angles. Yeah, Relaxa not quite able to spot out XSE Power and vice versa. So no early action that we were expecting. But the real question, of course, on my mind at least, is am I going to be the fully fledged Oracle? Will Forze be able to take this one back? Or, you know, Chaos, are they going to be able to just secure a couple of rounds? At the moment, still consolation. Dignity saving, as I always say. But still, there is a good chance for them to just pick up a few and, you know, get some stats at this point. There's not really much else I think that they can hope for without getting up to at least like a 15-10 scoreline before we start to question what, you know, Forze are doing and why they are struggling to close the game out. But that's all hypothetical. Of course, Flick tagged down early. Certainly could make a difference. There's only 40 seconds here. I think they're looking to go for a B wrap. Unfortunately, the boost over the smoke not going to work out as Almas has spotted it out. However, Relaxa here on the AWP manages to find one. Face Crack was going in with the smoke, I believe. Great peek comes in from Barton from behind as well. So this has really put a spanner in the works. What are they going to go for? Is it going to be A, or are they going to continue towards B? It looks like they themselves don't even know. There's only 16 seconds left here. They're going to try and fake things out as Relaxa up close with the AWP. Not going to do well the first 2 times, but the third, he will eventually fall. However, they've still got this player in. That's got to be the round, surely. No time. Is the EGL just going to hide? And they will secure their 5th. So unfortunately, I am incorrect. It will be 15-5 as Chaos are very lucky to get away with that.
At least they managed to get lots of damage done. The problem for Forze here is that because they survived with 2 players, they're not really able... They've got a double op setup on the T side, first of all, after saving them over. That was a bit of an interesting save. Surprised to see that going through. But as we see a double op setup come through, you know, a lot of the players don't have money. They have to just force it up here. On the back of 2 players surviving with no... Because, of course, if you survive on the T side without a bomb plant, you don't get any money for it. And so 2 Deagles, a Galil, and 2 AWPs opens it up with Face Crack going down a little bit low. And I think one of the things for Forze is, you know, they were cut off by aggression and Chaos in the round before. Then the previous round, of course, was just, I mean, Chaos had a player hiding on the B bomb site. Forze waited a little bit too long, playing a little bit too cautiously. Again, holding for those flanks to come through. They were thinking maybe Chaos would go for the same kind of play. Didn't happen, and then the clock won the round for Chaos. Now the problem comes. They're going to face towards this B bomb site, look to win the Angels, but those nades are being used beautifully by Chaos, getting a whole lot for very little investment. Forze making their way back down towards the ground. They have to entry bomb sites with 2 AWPs. It's not ideal. Well, hey, at least they've only got one now.
Well, it would seem they've got none, to be honest. It's Gustafsson having the round of his life so far. Beautiful peaks on the timing. You know, cannot reiterate enough. It's just a flawless round, to be honest. Great utility usage with, you know, the smokes going down so they can't see anything. They can't get any control. Good little HE to follow up to do a bit of early damage. And then, like I say, that information comes through. They're charging down Banana. And Gustafsson peaks at the perfect time to just, you know, catch them off. Also a player in second mid to act as a distraction. It couldn't have been any better. I think that's a pretty flawless CT round from Chaos, to be honest. You know, the next best step is to win the round without taking any damage at all. But yeah, just strategically really, really good from them. No individual really popping off, you know, it's just a good team play coming through. And now we see Force on this half-buy situation with a few nades and things, so hoping to get a bomb plant perhaps, but they've already lost a man. It's not looking great. Good flash comes through as well. The CZ is out, not really ideal, but at least the information is gained for Chaos.
You see, the thing is, Chaos have got 3 AWPs. If never mind, take that point back. If Force can get up close, they could just, you know, take them down, you know, drop one guy with the AWP, and then they get a kill. But no, they're not able to get up close. DJL wants the highlights, takes them all down with the AUG, and it's 15-7. Again, I'm not seeing too many cracks for Forze just yet, though. Nothing major. You know, they lost to the aggression, they held for the aggression, lost to the clock. Then they went into a round with not a whole lot to work with, saved over 2 weapons, which again put them in a position where they're where they are. You know, they should be taking an eco, but decided against it. An AK on Flit, with 4 players saving over and a couple pistols and armor. Gives them a decent chance, you know, go in for the raid boss of sorts. Except with an AK instead of a pistola. I'm looking to Flit to see what damage he can make happen during this round. But... okay. Deagle's doing a lot of damage. Flit finishes one off. Almazar comes in on the DJL. The B-bomb site's completely open. Chaos of 2 players left. Relaxa is down to 12 HP. What's happened? They're just being ripped apart. Flit's caught out Blat and it's over. Relaxa's got 12 HP. He's got to find a 1v4. He's got an AWP, but he's going to have a retake on the B-bomb side. It's not easy. Face crack coming in with the Deagle. He's going to swing around this corner, get taken down. A glimmer of hope for Relaxa. He's been flanked, though. He's going to be pushed from both sides. They got to be careful not to give him 1v1s here with the AWP. They want to just make sure they're able to trade.
I think ultimately time is his biggest enemy here. He was confused as to which bomb site it was going to be, and there you go. The flank comes in from behind as he's just distracted from the front. A bit of a sad way to end things, honestly. I think it's just one of those rounds where, you know, the pistols, the bought up AK, they're not expecting a great deal on the Forze side of things, so they decide to just get a little bit, you know, aggressive with the peaks, crazy with the peaks, and then suddenly they've found a 2-man advantage, and it's like everybody starts rolling over the CT side. They're caught off guard, they're panicking, you know, and it all just crumbles from there. It's just kind of, you know, one mistake after another, after another, after another. So it's not ideal, not the best way. I think ultimately Forze were going to win that one, but still, it's sad to see towards the end.
Yeah, like Forze had a standout performance overall. He had 24 kills on Face Crack. We felt his presence throughout that whole game. He had a couple really nice openings, but I think just as a team, they really played well. They had that cohesion there. The flash assists were there at the start over on the CT side, even if maybe they shouldn't have been all the time. Interesting scoreboard changes, but yeah, I'm liking what we saw from Forze. They really managed to come back. Like we said, the last time these two teams played, it was 16-5 to Chaos, where Forze only managed to find 3 rounds in the T side. And you saw that their T side was still weak. You know, they won the pistol and then the preceding 2, but then they went on a 4-loss streak in some rounds where they had some decent chances to actually get into things. But all in all, they had just too convincing of a CT side to really fall. I think that's, like you said, Scriv, you know, they were going to win it either way. When you've that much of a lead, it's really hard to throw it away.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, overall, a really good game from Forze. Shame to see Chaos fall so very much. But that is going to be it from us for a little while. We will be throwing over to a quick break. And then once we get everything set up, we're going to be hopping into Ents versus the Isaac Balls, which I think is going to be a pretty interesting one. Always good to see Ents. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Ents is after
Ents
that.
is later. Ents is late. That's my bad. I was trying
to rush the day, man.
and everything.
We got a lot of games.
I'm sorry. But yeah, either way, quick little break. We will be back with our next game shortly.